I'm sterile but my wife got pregnant, she says it's a miracle. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. We had been trying to have a baby for a few years. Eventually we found out I was sterile. We accepted it and decided to hold off on trying so hard and said that we would figure out what I do in the future. Although we weren't trying, we were continuing to have sex obviously. One day she missed her period and we found out he was pregnant. I was so happy and I thought it was amazing. We joked about how as soon as we stopped trying she ended up pregnant. The doctor said that it was a miracle baby. The night that the baby was born I couldn't be happier. I was just happy to finally have a baby and so excited to take her home. After a few days of taking care of her, I couldn't help but notice that she was extremely pale. For reference, I am black and she is white. I figure she would eventually darken a little and I didn't want to overthink it. Then our friends came over and while the girls were inside we were out back drinking. They all mentioned that they didn't want to worry me or to cause drama but asked if I ever thought my fiancé would cheat on me. I thought it was very weird and then I knew exactly where they were going with it. I said no and we talked about our concerns with the baby's skin tone. However, I still tried to brush it off thinking that the baby would get darker after a while. Now the baby is 5 months and I can't help but question if she's mine every day. She has very fine hair. No kinks or curls, just bone straight hair. I know she's a baby but I have been around plenty of babies who still have natural curls. She is also still very pale. The thing that's been bothering me the most is that every day she looks more and more Asian in the eyes. I don't mean to offend anyone at all but her eyes are just very stretched, they look nothing like mine. Is it wrong for me to be questioning my fiancé when this would have never crossed my mind before? Am I just being paranoid? How do I go about addressing this? Do I even say anything? My biggest fear is that the baby is somehow mine and she will be extremely hurt that I accused her of sleeping with someone else. I just don't know what to do. Please help me. I have been making major adjustments and dealing with a lot. My daughter is not actually mine. While it was incredibly hard to get through at first, I think that a small part of me was already mentally prepared for it. I just had a feeling. I hoped it wasn't true and I convinced myself that I was doing this just to rid my anxiety but I think deep down I knew. After deciding how I was going to approach the conversation I asked my fiancé to drop the baby off at her mother's house so we could have a night to ourselves. I made dinner and then tried to talk about things that we had been going through recently and how our lives had changed since having the baby. I explained that I had been having bad anxiety and that I believed that it was partially caused by becoming a new parent but also the fact that I was sterile 1 minute and then told we were having a baby the next. Right away she saw where I was going with that and she did get a bit defensive. She continued to tell me that miracles happen and that she couldn't believe I didn't trust her. I explained that I saw exactly where she was coming from but asked that she saw it from point of view as well. We argued and she refused to do the test. I told her it was fine and that I would leave it alone. I wanted to leave it alone but she kept bringing it up all night even after I had apologized and said that I wouldn't bring it up again. She kept telling me that she couldn't believe I would think of her that way and that I should just be happy that we have a beautiful healthy daughter instead of trying to accuse her of cheating. That's when I started to question her. Something just didn't feel right and I knew I had to do the test regardless. I did the test the next day and waited a few days. By the end of the week I found out that she wasn't mine. I cried for about 2 days straight. I just couldn't handle it and I had no idea what I was going to do. I tried to spend as little time in the house as I could because I knew she would see something was wrong right away. I struggled with figuring out how I would let her know that I knew. I also contemplated whether or not I should say anything because I knew that this would change things with my daughter. I finally decided to just tell her. Of course she denied it and said that the test was wrong and that I need to just drop it. I explained that the clinic said there was no way this could be an error. She continued to deny it, and I just couldn't believe that she would still lie to me straight to my face. She threatened to leave and take the baby even though she has nowhere to go seeing as her own mother doesn't want to get involved. We've been pretty much ignoring each other when we're not dealing with the baby. She said that she will be out in 2 months and I'm glad. My concern right now is whether or not she has the right to take the baby. I love my daughter more than anything but I refuse to stay with this woman. I know the baby is not my blood but if I'm on the birth certificate does that help? I at least want to have shared custody. I bring over half of the income to provide everything for the baby. There is no way that she could take care of the baby without me. She will not be able to afford it. I know there's probably no way possible for me to get some custody, but is it pointless to fight for shared? I can't lose my daughter. As much as I hate what my fiancée did, I don't even hate her. I can't explain how hard it is having to deal with losing someone I love so much, but also knowing that they would do something so terrible. It's hard enough having to end this with her, but I don't think I can handle not seeing my daughter anymore either. Please help with any advice as far as how I can fight for shared custody, if that's even possible given the circumstances. Here is the second story. Christmas was eventful because of my girlfriend. For context, before I met her I was different. I used to go out with my mates all the time and do several things against my religion and against my parents' will, and I used to mess about with girls. But when I met her online we got serious really quickly and I wanted to see her. I felt like I could trust her even though I had bad experiences with my first girl, which I think affected me. I told her everything I had done in the past and I asked her to consider doing the same so if it came up in the future I wouldn't judge her. But she said she's never even seen another man's dick and that she's a complete virgin and she's never sent nudes. So fast forward to our first fight because she follows random guys and likes their photos. I find out she did talk to guys, which she lied about not doing. And then the next time we argued I found out she used to have guys on socials and that she was still following and liking their pics. Fast forward to our latest fight, which happened yesterday at Christmas. She finally gave me her Snap password. I didn't ask her, she just felt she was ready. When I went on Snap I added back the boys she removed through the add function. I found out ever since me and her started talking she had in fact been talking to another guy and sending him nudes and stuff like that. I questioned her and she lied, saying they were only bra pics. I told her I saw them and when I showed her she admitted it. I found out she's had several boyfriends and she's also sucked a guy off several times. But the thing that hurt most was that she was talking to this other guy the whole time. I thought she would be the one who would bring me closer to my religion and complete my life. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. She seems so innocent and this just happened on Christmas. I haven't slept for a full 24 hours. What to do? Also, we were dating for 14 months and it was my birthday on January 8th. I wanted to see her on the 7th and propose to her, but I feel like I have been taken for a fool. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Sometimes you just have to realize some roads aren't meant for you. A relationship established through deceit will never have a good foundation. Also, texting another man nudes and talking while in a relationship with you is cheating. Cheating can be physical and emotional. Have some self-respect, and walk away knowing you are a good man and deserve better. Girls will always make themselves seem innocent and pure enough to the extent of still believing they are relationship worthy. The guys they originally liked know how easy they are and won't lock them down, so she went after you and lied about herself so you would adore her like she wanted. Never trust them 100% by what they say, instead remember their actions. Start this new year a new man, work on yourself and stop thinking about her. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.